Hi there everybody and welcome back to another video on the Toon Review YouTube channel. Today we found out what the new squad numbers are going to be for our two new players. Eddie's been speaking to the media ahead of the huge Premier League game tomorrow against West Ham United, and we've also heard some comments about ASM and Lucas Paqueta as well. So we'll have a look at that. We'll have a look at his press conference very, very shortly. But as I said there, first of all, the squad numbers have been announced for Anthony Gordon and Harrison Ashby, and it's not what people thought it would be. Many people thought that Anthony Gordon was going to get the number 20. It hasn't happened that way. Anthony Gordon has indeed got John Joe's old number 8. A lot of comments on social media coming in this morning that, you know, saying, oh, John Joe's number's not even called yet and he's taken his number. But listen, it's a good number for me for Anthony Gordon to have. You don't normally find wingers wearing number 8, but listen, it is what it is. He's got the number 8. And Harrison Ashby will be taking the number 30. Big day for Harrison Ashby tomorrow, whether he's in the squad or not, of course, taking on his old team, West Ham United. And speaking about West Ham, Eddie Howe has confirmed that the Lucas Paqueta deal that a lot of people said was going to happen in the summer was never close. And this just confirms that just don't believe what you hear online until the club say it themselves. Because Paqueta deal was never happening. There was loads of people saying, oh, he's coming in for a medical, he's doing this, he's doing that. It was never close. And Eddie Howe has confirmed all of that this morning, saying that there was loads of reasons that that deal didn't happen. Now, that's wages, transfer fees, length of contract. It's just a minefield of everything as to why that deal was never, ever close. And obviously, I'm glad Eddie's come out and said it, because it just puts to bed all the rumours that are going around that we missed out on Paqueta when really we weren't even in for him. It was never, ever close in the first place. Now, he's also been speaking about ASM. Of course, you know, we're just wondering whether he's going to start the game. Of course, Bruno injured, which means obviously Joe Linton is going to have to come back into midfield. Or is he? But we'll come on to that very, very shortly, because Eddie Howe has said that this could be a very, very pivotal time for ASM during this coming period with Bruno being out. He said it will be huge for him, and physically he's the best he's been in since the injury. Now, whether that gives us an inclination that he's going to be included in the starting 11 tomorrow, God knows. God knows, because, you know, you just never know with Eddie Howe. He doesn't give anything away, and he's certainly not prepared to give anything away yet again with regards to giving David Moyes any information as if Alison Maximin is going to start the game. But he also did hint that Elliot Anderson could be a potential replacement for Bruno. Now, I found that very, very interesting, given that Elliot Anderson doesn't play anywhere near Bruno's position. Now, whether that means that he's going to move Sean Longstaff back and, you know, he could play Willock and Elliot Anderson in the middle and keep Joe Linton where he is. I'd find that very, very bizarre, because what we've seen of Elliot Anderson so far this season, well, it hasn't been great, has it? And would he be disciplined enough to play that position? Let me know. I know there's a lot of fans of Elliot Anderson out there who want to see him given a go. So let me know in the comments below. Would you leave Joe Linton where he is on the left, and would you play Elliot Anderson next to Willock and put Sean Longstaff as the number 6? I'm intrigued to know what you guys think out there, because that is a very interesting one for me. I was quite staggered that he came out with that. I'm not sure. I'll be openly honest. I'm not quite sure whether that role is set for Elliot Anderson. I'm really not. But if he's been working with him in training on that position, then it could be very, very different come the game. So we have to wait and see on that. Now, on to the main press conference itself. Again, not much given away from Eddie Howe. Speaking about the game tomorrow, he says, we've tried to refocus the players. Obviously, after Tuesday, it is a very difficult game. If we're off it in any way, it'll be even harder. There's been a big push from me and the staff to make sure we're ready for this game. it's what you would expect. 100% what you'd expect, really, because he's coming out and saying that he's not going to let standards drop just because we've made a cup final. Our attention now has to turn to the Premier League, and it has to be that we're on our game straight from the kickoff again. West Ham haven't been great this season. That's, you know, but they've had a couple of decent results of late, beating Everton in the Premier League, beating Derby in the FA Cup. I'm not sure how convincing that was, but, you know, we've got to be on it tomorrow. And again, I think, you know, there shouldn't be any nerves now. The nerves from the cup situation, it's gone. We're there. We're in the final. But we have to turn our attention to these 3 very important Premier League games before, obviously, the cup final. And we need to maintain this push for top 4. So you can see where he's coming from with that. Now, on Bruno being missing, he says, when you lose one player, you have to readjust, and there will be an opportunity for the team to regroup and find another way. The good thing for Bruno is that he'll be available for the final, but we have 3 huge Premier League games that he'll miss. That is very unfortunate for us, of course. Bruno has been a pivotal point in Newcastle United's midfield ever since he signed for the club. It's his first ever sending off. Whether we agree with it or not, it was for me, it was a red card, I have to say. You know, but where's the consistency in that? You know, the Fabinho one and etc., the Anthony one for Man United. There's no consistency there, and I think that's what the Premier League and the Football Association have to seriously work on for next season, is getting this consistency right, because it's absolute bollocks right now. It really is. But of course, without Bruno, somebody else will get an opportunity. Who will that be? That is the question. Again, let me know in the comments. You know, we talk about Elliot Anderson. Who would you like to see replace Bruno? Would you put? Is it just a simple case of Longstaff back to the number 6 position, Willock, Joe Linton, and maybe ASM or Gordon? Let me know. It's going to be very interesting to find out what you guys think. Now, on Alexander Isak, this is where he doesn't give anything away, and I thought he might have been pressed on this a bit more, but he says, Alex made a vital contribution in that moment. He was able to jump and block the free kick, but took a blow to the side of the head and had very slight signs of concussion. We followed all the protocols, but whether he'll be available, I'm not sure. Now, we know what Eddie's like. I think he will be. He will know in his mind if Isak's playing tomorrow or not. He'll already know that. But of course, he's not going to give anything at all away to David Moyes and sort of tell him who's going to be a starting striker. Of course, Callum Wilson's there, but he's been out of form. He was better on Tuesday night. Should have had a penalty given. You know, he looked a bit more lively, but really, he's not been at the races. And you know, we just need one to go off his backside or something like that to get a goal somewhere along the line. We need him to get a goal and get that confidence back up again. Now, on Anthony Gordon and Harrison Ashby, he says both players will be available. They did a couple of individual sessions around the game and trained with the group yesterday. It was a small group, so they haven't fully trained with the team, but they're fit and fine. Now, again, what does that mean? Does that mean that the 2 of them are going to be on the bench tomorrow, or is he going to give Anthony Gordon a start? The situation with Bruno being out and having to move Joe Linton possibly, that opens avenues up, whether he goes with ASM or whether he goes with Anthony Gordon. That's what he's paid the big bucks for, guys. It's as simple as that. He's paid the big money for that. He's got to make that decision, but he's also got to make that decision and make sure it's the right one. You know, he doesn't want to put ASM in there and ASM not perform. Now, he did talk about ASM, saying that he knows that he's not the track and back kind of player, and that we need somebody like ASM who is willing just to run at defenders. So Eddie Howe has basically confirmed that he isn't fussed about ASM tracking back. He says he's not that type of player, which was a very interesting comment for me. It just confirms that Eddie sees ASM as a different kind of player rather than Miggy, for instance, who will track back, help out the defenders. Because Maxi will, but he's not that fully fledged, gut-wrenching to get back and defend kind of player, is he? We know that. So that's an interesting one. He's certainly got some decisions to make ahead of the game. There's no doubt about that. But the Isak one, I just wish he was pushed a little bit further. But, of course, we know how Eddie plays these press conferences. He is not going to give much away to David Moyes and say, oh, by the way, David, just listen to the press conference. We'll tell you that Isak's playing or he's going to be in the squad. We're going to tell you that Anthony Gordon's playing. He just said they're available and Isak may not be available. So at the minute, he's classed as a major doubt. But again, we just don't know. We just do not know. But that is it. That is the latest news from today, guys. Some very interesting comments from Eddie. Again, let me know down below in the comments what you thought about, everything that he said in the press conference. What would you do with the team? Who would you play where? Because he faces a tough decision tomorrow. Whichever way you look at it, he's got a tough decision to make. But again, we'll see when that team sheet comes out tomorrow. But if you have enjoyed today's video, guys, please, as usual, smash that like button for us. It really does promote the channel and help it grow. And also, if you're new and like what you see, loads of content on this channel, please subscribe. It is free to do so. And, of course, hit that notification bell, which will let you know when we go live, schedule a show, or indeed upload a video like this one. If you're watching this on the Friday, don't forget TTR Friday tonight at 8 o'clock. We've got a lot to get through. This is now turned into a regular football magazine show where we do have a laugh. We like to have a laugh on there, of course. But we do talk about football subjects. We'll be talking about the ticket allocation, the semi-final performance, the West Ham game, all of it. We'll be discussing everything. Transfers, everything will be in TTR Friday tonight. We've got 3 guests with us. Obviously me, Billy and Alex. And then we've got Jimmy will be with us again. Roy and Francisco will be joining us as well from Puerto Rico. So really, really looking forward to the show tonight. Should be an absolute cracker. Don't miss it, 8 p.m. But thank you very much for watching today's video, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Friday and we'll see you tonight. Take care.